Interviews alongside the featherweight champion of Bellator, Mr. Pat Curran, set to take on Daniel Straus in a rematch this weekend. Obviously, some weird happenings with the card. You are now the co-main event, probably where I'd say you belong. Do you feel that same way?
Actually, I'm co-main event. I didn't know that. Yeah, like I said, I started from the beginning in Bellator when they first started season 2, and just kind of worked my way through it. I'm one of the veterans of the organization, and I'm just happy to put on a show and still be here, able to fight for you guys.
Yeah, I would say you should be a main event in a lot of ways, but again, you're on the same card with Mike Chandler. So you've got both these title fights, man. I'm very excited for it. Talk about the matchup against Daniel, how the first fight went, and what differences you expect in this fight.
Yeah, our first fight, we were still very new in the sport. It was mainly just a clinch in the first round, throwing knees, short shots, nothing really exciting. And then the second round, we kind of kept our distance a little bit. And, I just got the timing down of a right hand, and, it was more of like a looping overhand right where my head was off on the side, and I just kind of connected on the right spot. And, he just, fell underneath himself and kind of sprawled on him, threw a couple shots, and the fight was over. So
both fighters are different now, obviously. Do you feel like, where has your game progressed for the most part?
Yeah, both of us are definitely new fighters, different fighters, so I can't even judge our first fight or review our first fight. But both of us have gotten a lot better just overall in MMA, from our striking to our wrestling and grappling. But, since my first fight with him, I really wanted to focus on my striking and boxing, and, that's what I really improved on. I wasn't really comfortable throwing my hands back when we first fought, but now I can take a punch and, I can give one right back, and, just having that I guess that confidence, knowing that I can take a punch and stay in there, stay in the pocket and throw, goes a long way.
Definitely, those fights with Pitbull can definitely show that. I mean, has that been, talk about that confidence that you have in your striking now. Do you feel like you are a striker now as opposed to a grappler, whereas before it was kind of the opposite?
Yeah, it's just the evolution of my game. I started out with wrestling, and I just really didn't like laying on top of guys and grinding guys out, and really wanted to focus on my striking. And, since Bellator, I just made that a goal of mine to, just get comfortable on my feet, get comfortable throwing in any position that I'm in, and just mainly focusing on my striking, my boxing. So just having that confidence and just building that through the tournaments, that's just my style now, and, I just love to stand and stay in the pocket with the guys.
Do you look at betting lines and things like that, and that you're a heavy favorite? Does that put more pressure on you, especially seeing as you're one of the faces of the organization in Bellator?
No added pressure. You have to go in there knowing, it's just another fight. Go in there and fight your heart out, and that's the mentality you have to have. If you're going to make it in this sport, you can't put any added pressure on yourself. Just go in there, keep doing the same thing like you have been, and everything's going to be the same.
Was there ever any talk about you moving cards? Because now that this fight is now on Spike, my first thought was, well, maybe they'll move one of these big champions or King Mo to another card.
No, never crossed my mind. Like I said, I'm always prepared. They give me a date, I'm going to fight on. If they move it last minute, it's no big deal. I'm prepared either way. It's better to be prepared than not prepared and have doubts that you're going to move to another show or another date. So, we just kept our focus on this fight date, and nothing changed.
Pitbull's waiting in the wings here, I'm sure, anxious to get back at you. How do you keep your focus on this fight?
You just got to take it one fight at a time. I'm watching the tournament as it happens, and Pitbull looks really good. But and I know he's really determined to get a rematch with me and get that loss off his record. But so is Straus, and very happy that Straus got the opportunity. He's a great guy, a great opponent for me for this fight, and it's going to make for an exciting match.
There's a lot of talk. You're obviously locked in with Bellator. A lot of talk about where you would fit in with the best in the world, let's say, over in the UFC guys. Where do you feel like you would fit in? How do you think you would fare against those guys?
It's hard to say, but if you put an opponent in front of me, I know I can beat them. Anybody they put in front of me, I know I can beat them. So that's the mentality I have, and that's the mentality I'm going to have.
Prediction for this weekend?
Prediction is I'm going to see my hand raised either way, but don't know how. Either knockout, submission, and I'm happy to go 5 rounds with them. Just have an all-out war like I had with Pitbull. Just have another rematch with Straus.
Definitely excited to see it. This man, Pat Curran, live on Spike TV this Saturday night.